Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawnbusters Taste Challenge. I have two Speyside single malt whiskeys, aged 10 years. This is the Benriach, and neither one of these have a website listing, so there's no use trying to show that because they don't exist. This is the Benriach peated single malt Scotch whiskey. It's discontinued now. Went through some changes over its lifetime. I have maybe the last change. This is a 2017 bottle. This is 46% alcohol. The bottle says real color, or it says natural color, and non-chill filtered. And it's a peated Speyside whiskey, meaning it's going to have a lot of smoke, a smoky Speyside whiskey. And they roast the malted barley over peat fires, gives it almost like it had smoke damage, which they do intentionally. Okay, it's not an accident. Foil cap cover for both. With natural color, you're going to real cork for both. With natural color, you're going to notice it's very pale, kind of a greenish yellow. A naturally colored Scotch whiskey is going to look that way. For some reason, a lot of companies want it to be more copper color, so they'll add caramel color into it to give it, like, I guess, well, more character, or what they call it. And maybe it could be because they're worried that different batches have different shades, and they don't want people to say, why it looks lighter this time and darker that time. So they just add a little color to it to mask that batch differentiation. See, so they both use real cork. It's not like, neoprene rubber or anything like that. Okay. And these are plastic caps. All right. So Glencullen, introduced in 2016, kind of like around when they were getting ready to wind down the Benriach, looks like. I bought this for $20.99 at Albertsons in Hammond, Louisiana. Now the price has gone up to $24.99 that's a discounted price. They got it on discount. Well, I bought it. It was on discount also, but that was not this year. And it's basic 40% alcohol, 80 proof, 40% alcohol, aged 10 years. And like I said, from the Sazerac company. Nice product, but nothing too exciting. Just it's okay. It's got a photo on there of the Glencullen and in Scotland, and I don't know who makes it. Nobody knows who makes it. It's produced for the Sazerac company. Well, the Sazerac company has no Irish or Scotch distilleries, so anything they have is going to be, of course, contract produced. Zalvi says, yo, what's your opinion on beer, drunk versus hard liquor? You mean getting drunk off of them? I have no opinion because I avoid that. And if it does happen, it's an accidental thing. It wasn't intentional. So I couldn't comment on that. This one's very light. You see it's straw, and this one's that gold amber, which is telling me it's got coloring added, because there's nothing on the label that says real color or non-chill filtered. If they don't put that on a label, you can pretty much bet that it's not the real color and that it's chill filtered. Now, I'm not saying you can 100% guarantee it, but it's pretty likely, because usually they tout that. They'll tout it. They'll like sort of brag. That's a selling point. Non-chill filtered, real color. So they're going to tout it, like the soda pops, real sugar, real sugar. They're putting that on there to catch your attention. They're going to put that on beer, all malt. They're trying to let you know, no corn or rice, all barley malt. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's up to you. Some people think it's fine, and other people have a problem with it. So that's why they do those things. Or they'll put cold filter. That's to let you know it's not pasteurized, because beer companies will tell you that pasteurization does damage the beer to an extent, but it protects it from going rotted. But there's a little more expensive method called cold filtering, which removes bacteria and preserves the beer. And they sell it at what they call it packaged draft. It's draft beer like you get in a keg, but it's in a can or bottle. I don't find it as exactly like draft, but they're trying to get as close to it as they can. Okay. Smells like fermented and then distilled cereal grains. Not trying to be smart aleck, but that's what it smells like. Or in other words, it smells like stereotypical whiskey. Like if you just let somebody smell that and blind and say, "What is this?" They would say, "I don't know. It's some kind of whiskey." Okay, now they may not know it's Scotch or whatever, but they're gonna know. Now this one, they would say, "Oh man, it's smoky. What happened?" Like what happened? Did it get? Now people that are obviously, you said, well, what about people that are familiar with Scotch and know about Isla and smoky and this? Well, they're not gonna be shocked. But most people I know never even tried Scotch. And if they have, they hate it. Now, you say, but Scotch is a big seller in America. I know. I don't know. I guess it just so happens most people I know don't like it. Now, there's a lot of other people that like it and I don't know them. Okay. Taste time. Cheers. Scotch is big, of course, but compared to bourbon right now, it's not that big. When I see people going into the grocery store looking at the liquor section, they're looking all through it. I see them looking over the counter. They're not looking at Scotch. They're looking at bourbon. I guarantee you that's what they're looking at. They're looking at bourbon, and they have bourbon sales, and the people are lined up. Dozens of people lined up at 5:30 in the morning to get the newest bourbon release. Would they do that for Scotch? Oh, there would be a few, I think, but I don't think it'd be too many, and it probably wouldn't be worth the store's trouble to do it. And guess what? They never do it. I never seen events like that. Not here. I mean, it might be somewhere else. Okay, Benriach smoke. So this is Scotch is amazing with sparkling water. You say, well, I know it's a very popular mixer. Especially for like a highball. Well, sparkling water. Okay. I think highballs were developed back in the decades ago with Scotch. I think that was the first whiskey used in highballs. Of course, now they use them in any kind of whiskey. You get on any kind of whiskey website, they're going to have recipes, highball recipes. I don't care what the whiskey is. It could be Seagram 7 blended whiskey, Crown Royal, Canadian blended, any kind of bourbon. You know that. Irish, Scotch. I would suppose Japanese. I don't really look at their websites. I don't have any Japanese whiskey. That's a pretty product. Although I'm certainly not opposed to it in any way. Every Japanese whiskey I've tried, I've loved them. They were great. Just can't do it. I got to limit myself. I think I should. I can't cover everything. It's hard enough just with the mezcal trying to keep up with that, because that's kind of an outlier, and then the prices would be kind of high for that. And I have some viewers that are interested in mezcal, but I wouldn't say it's a huge amount. They're more interested in tequila, which is a type of mezcal, obviously the most popular type. But mezcal's getting, bigger a little bit. It's getting bigger. It's getting a following. But like this local store here, I think they sell one, maybe two mezcal brands. Maybe Casamigos and that 400 Bunny Rabbits, 400 Conejos. I know that Walmart does not sell any mezcal. There's daylight outside. None. They got rid of it. Why? Probably wasn't selling. I got the deals on that because they wanted to get it out the store. They had $32.95 bottles for $15 even. $32.95, they're selling it for $15. So consequently, I bought it. Now I don't do that shots plus beer. There's other people that do hangouts with me do that, but I Try to avoid that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's always do mezcal last, and then I make a U-turn, go back, a right U-turn, and go back around to rye whiskey. Then I start over. I have a new mezcal. I have never opened it. It's called the Silencio, El Silencio. Beautiful bottle. It looks like it's going to be nice, but I know nothing about it. Nothing. But obviously I'm going to research it before I crack it open. I drank mezcal in 2018. Says Zuby. Yeah, I never had it way back then. Yeah, some of them have worm. I have two of them with the worm. Monty Alban, which I hate. Honestly, that's the worst liquor I got in this house. And then what's that one I have from Liqueurs Veracruz? That's a really good one. I can't remember the name right now, but that's a good one. Yeah. Most people, I definitely haven't talked to many people that had mezcal. I've talked to people that have had tequila, obviously, like pretty much everybody. Tequila is so popular, you know that. And it seems to be gaining in popularity. It never seems to. Scotch is holding its own. I wouldn't say it's gaining, but it's not declining. Bourbon is probably top. Bourbon's probably peaked. You know, there's only so many. People get tired of chasing this and that new one. It's kind of like craft beer. They wore people out on that. But all the companies want to ride the wave as long as they can squeeze people. And then when it starts to crest, then they start cutting out this and that product. It's the same as liquor. Mezcal is smooth. But it is a liquor. Anyway, back to Benriach. It's a fabulous taste. It's smooth. Glencullen has smoothness, but it has a few little rough edges. It was $20.99 for a reason, right? Now the Benriach could run you about $65 if you find a bottle. Now, like I say, I've never seen it except for one store. I'm talking about this Curiositas. I don't see the Benriach in any stores, but honestly, I haven't been actively looking for it. So it's probably a Total Wine and More and Rouse's and all of that, but I bet you they don't have much of the lineup. Maybe one or two of their offerings. Mathern's might have one bottle. I don't know. So Curiositas, it was discontinued sometime back. Can't say when, don't know. Wasn't before 2020 though, because I was watching a 2020 video from the Benriach with their distillery master talking about the Curiositas. But I have a feeling it was right at that point they cut it. But if you do find it, like I say, you're probably looking at about $15. I mean, $65. But I got it for $9.99. True story. I found this on a back shelf. What they call it? I call it what is a discount shelf? Everything's discounted. Like, I don't know where to get these. Probably from stores that went bankrupt or whatever and just auctioned all their stuff off. But they had it for $9.99. So who in the world is going to pass that up? Well, I don't know who would, but I wasn't going to be one of them. And I passed over a New Jersey whiskey that was $5, $4.99. Actually, $4.99. My friend David bought it. It was a rye whiskey. And in fact, it's pretty good. It's actually very good, especially for $4.99, you know, it's unreal. But yeah, so but I was trying to gravitate more toward like mainline brands. Benriach is a mainline brand. It's owned by Brown-Forman after all. One of the world's biggest liquor companies. Brown-Forman, owners of Old Forester and Jack Daniels and Corbel brandy and champagne. Doesn't get much bigger than that. And but like some of these obscure brands, I have enough of them already, and then people don't want to watch it. I get that because it's like, well, I can't find that product. So I was trying to gravitate more toward mainstream brands that people would be interested in talking about. Because I'm interested in anything. Me, I'm interested in anything. So that doesn't matter for me. But I understand the viewers want to see something that they are interested in. So I went and bought all these Jim Beams that I could get my hands on. Jim Beam Extra, the black, Jim Beam Black, 8-year, that's gone. Then the Extra Black, that's now gone. No age statement. And then I found the new Jim Beam 7-year, which is in all the stores now. They jumped it to 7 years. So I got that. And I bought the Devil's Cut and the Double Oak and the new Jim Beam Rye, which is not even on their website, which is very bizarre. They're still showing the other one, the pre-prohibition. So I don't get that. That makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea to eat breakfast. Okay. So anyway, that's what I've got that coming up eventually. There'll be a lot of mainline bourbon whiskeys like Benchmark. I bought all the Benchmark series, the whole lineup that I could find. There may be some that they don't list, which I wouldn't be surprised about. And then, but that's what people like to see. And I just told you I like to talk about any of these. I'm interested in all of them, so I may as well just put out stuff that people are interested in. But I do have some obscure stuff coming now. Let's not get it wrong. I got WD bourbon coming up, not WD-40. WD bourbon. WD Liquors bourbon. Yep, that's true. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all probably this weekend with some more taste challenges. And tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern, tomorrow evening, early evening, 6:30 Eastern, we've got Fandango Friday live. And this camera doesn't like to focus too much. There it goes. And any liquor or liqueur. And I have a peanut butter whiskey, a peanut butter flavored whiskey from the Sazerac company. Who else? I mean, they make it. They got their hand in everything. So that's another company that's so common. They make that new mango shada, mango jalapeno or habanero vodka, which is actually pretty good. They're always coming out with something new. They'll come out with it, keep it a few years, drop it, come out with something else. They love to put out new things. So, all right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.